Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, and welcome to Comics from the Future. This is our show we do every single Friday where we let you know what comics are coming out, what covers to expect, and put on your wish list, what new series are ongoing, get their number 2s and 3s, and so much more. So, before we get started, my name's Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with Infinity Flux Comics from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
That is right. We have a brick and mortar store here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we also ship all over the country. So if you need anything, just comment, let us know what we can help you out with, and we'll do our best. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right.
First off is one I'm really excited for. Probably a lot of people around my age, one of your first experiences with Batman was Batman '89, and they are bringing the Michael Keaton version of Batman back. With all of the he can't turn his head action, he has to move his entire shoulders to see.
That.
But this is really cool. So this is going to be a 6-part series, and like I said, this is the Michael Keaton version of Batman. It spins right out of the movies. It kind of almost feels like, I think this is set between Batman 1 and 2.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Was it after?
From what I can tell,
with the Penguin or?
Yeah. From what it sounds like, Gotham City is being overrun by people dressed as Batman and Joker. So that makes me think maybe this picks up right after. Spoiler alert: the death of Joker from Batman '89.
He was still laughing at the end.
Oh well,
something was.
But. Who doesn't like this going on? Harvey Dent. D.A. Harvey Dent. And if you remember these movies, that is Billy D. Williams.
That's right.
What is funny because he never actually got to play Two-Face. That later was Tommy Lee Jones that played Two-Face once Tim Burton was no longer the director. And Billy D. Williams had to wait to be Two-Face for the Lego Batman movie. But they are bringing in that version of Two-Face where he finally gets to be Two-Face in this. So that's kind of, it seems like going to be the big villain of this series. And do kind of the Two-Face origin within this pseudo-sequel. What's also really cool about this is it was teased that Batman would be donning the suit that he was supposed to wear for Batman 3 if Tim Burton was going to do Batman 3. But he never did, so that suit never got used. But there's some early pictures that the artist Joe Quinones put out of sketches of that suit, which I think is super cool. This is being written by, I believe his last name is Ham? Yeah, Sam Ham, which I haven't read anything by him before, but I think he's done a lot of like screenwriting and everything. But yes, I think this is going to be big. So many fans of the classic Batman '89 series. So
and they kept that logo and font.
Yeah,
just like it. Yeah,
so good. And then it has a variant cover by Jerry Ordway.
There he is.
Where you see the Two-Face.
Very different. And now this is what, Batman
the World.
Oh.
Who was supposed to do this one?
Oh, wow.
Well, I actually skimmed through Batman the World.
Continue on then, my friend.
Put me on the spot. So Batman the World is more of a graphic novel format, and it's really interesting. It is DC got together writers and artists from literally all over the world. There is stories from different countries kind of celebrating Batman with their own twists. Some of them Batman are in their respective countries.
Yeah, you were showing me this.
Yeah, so I actually got to see an early version of it. I'm not sure if it was the entire thing. There was, I forgot how many countries were represented in the one I looked at. It was a handful of them. I mean, you could keep this going for quite a while if you decide to do.
Countries in the world, yeah.
But I know there was like Germany, France, Brazil, Mexico, Poland, and they're all, you realize what each of them, they have such a unique style. Like, you know, I believe the first story in it is the US one, and Lee Bermejo does the art in it. And so you see it and you're like, oh yeah, that's what I'm used to. But You get ones like France that have a very different, very European style for Batman.
Batman smoking a very thin cigar.
It's really cool. Some of them kind of introduce new villains that represent whatever country Batman's currently in. I forgot who all the writers are.
There's a lot.
There's
Brian Azzarello.
I think Azzarello does the U.S. one, and you probably haven't heard of a lot of the other ones. Some of the artists you have because they have worked in American comics, but they're actually from other countries.
Right.
So you'll see a few that you recognize, but I believe how much is this one?
This is a $25 hardcover.
Yeah, $25 hardcover, but it's all original stories. So after looking through it, I highly recommend it, especially if you are really interested in kind of the art world and how a character that we understand so well of Batman being interpreted through all these different styles and different lenses.
Very cool.
Yeah, so really cool. It's Batman the World.
All right, next up, Hardware Season 1. Funny about this is that Hardware apparently was the first Milestone comic published, and I guess we're nearing the end, so almost in a reverse order. So anyway, this is going to follow Curtis Metcalf, who is, of course, the genius inventor who uses his inventions to fight crime, and his name is Hardware, high-tech creature of the night. So anyway, in this new Season 1, it is co-written by the original creators. That's cool. He's going to fight to clear his name after he finds himself being blamed for the Big Bang, which of course is what happened in Dakota to cause all these people to have their super powers and super abilities they do. So he's going to be fighting to clear his name. And yeah, we get to see some more genius inventions from Hardware himself. So this is going to be a 6-part series, and this is our A cover. And then we have, I believe, the old school.
Yeah, they've been doing these old school and new school variants.
He's drowning in LAN cables. This looks like my house before we went wireless.
This is by Dennis Cohen, the old school variant. And then we're going to have, unfortunately not available right now, the new school by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, still, it's important for us to show that
something is out there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of Sienkiewicz fans who are going to miss this just because there's no cover to be shown, but it'll probably end up being the best one. Okay, also from DC, I Am Batman #0. That's right, we were back in the 90s full swing with issue zeros. So this takes place directly after Next Batman Second Son. So if you read that series, they promised in that series they were going to show how he turned into Batman. They finally did. In the last issue, they kind of did. And I can talk about it because the solicitation of this says it. If anybody
it's kind of not
reads
a spoiler, too, that he's Batman.
Well, not that. But he found a Batman suit. That's what happened at the end of Second Son. And right in the solicitation it says, well, he found the suit, and so now he's going to put it on, and he's going to become Next Batman. Because apparently the magistrate is cracking down on Alleytown, so it's just more of it. I kind of wonder why they just didn't continue Second Son, because I mean this runs right into it, same team on it and everything. So I'm happy he's turning into Batman finally. The last series, it was really interesting to set up what's going on with the family, but I felt them actually getting around to him turning to Batman. That's why I wanted at least halfway through. And so now he's doing it. So now this is going to be the series where Jace finally puts the uniform on. I always like that year one feel, and I'm hoping to get that from this series. So we've got the Derrick Chew variant. It's pretty cool. Chew tends to do the more colorful thing, so it's interesting to see him do a Batman cover. And then we have the Dave Wilkins variant.
Next up is one based on a TV show people might have seen. This is Pennyworth #1, based on the FX series that is possibly going to HBO about Alfred Pennyworth. And I'm sure Batman fans everywhere know that he had a very thrilling younger life before being
he became a butler.
A billionaire's butler, where he was a secret agent, a field surgeon, all of that. So this picks up, I believe, after where the series led off and where it may be starting back, where, he is a M16 agent, this time during the Cold War. And he learns that there is a place in the Arctic Circle building nuclear weapons. So Alfred is going to go try to stop it. So very, I mean, you can tell by this cover, very
Bond, yeah.
Bond-esque.
Pennyworth, Alfred Pennyworth.
It works. So this is the Juan GEDEON cover, and it's written by Scott Bryan Wilson. And then we have the variant cover, this is the GEDEON variant cover, and he's the main artist on the series.
All right, next up we have a new Defenders miniseries. Of course, you know the Defenders are made up of they love to call themselves the non-team. It's not a team, they're just a group of outsiders, a group of very individualistic, sort of wild, weird characters all come together to tackle certain missions. So this 5-part miniseries written by Al Ewing with art by Javier Rodriguez is going to lead them to, they're going to uncover the hidden architecture of reality itself. Sounds super trippy. Luckily we have, looks like Silver Surfer Black and Doctor Strange there. So Doctor Strange and the Masked Raider are leading this team.
They promised the Masked Raider would be back. He was in that Marvel Comics
That's
1000,
Mm-hmm.
and he was kind of the through line through all of that. So I guess this is where he ends up.
Let's see what characters are highlighted on all the variant covers with this. So we have, that was the A cover right there, and now we have the Liefeld Deadpool 30th anniversary cover.
I guess Doctor Strange is using magic to spy on Deadpool.
Yeah, it's very
Why
odd.
not?
Very, very interesting.
Next up, we have the Momoko Silver Surfer variant. Gorgeous.
That's awesome.
As always, I would say this is even extra for her. Next up, we have the Pacheco Reborn variant.
With that, it's funny they're doing a Reborn variant for this with that Scarlet Witch Silver Surfer.
Yeah. You're
or
right.
Silver Witch.
Yeah.
What's her name?
And then lastly, we have a Ron Lim variant. So lots to choose from there if you want to check out the new Defenders miniseries.
All right. A title that sounds like Defenders. Avengers. Avengers has a new miniseries called Avengers Tech On. It is a 6-part series. It's pretty interesting because they just had like the Mech Suit Avengers series. This one's going to sound a little like it, but it is different. So let me explain. So the premise is Red Skull has this new power or weapon where he's able to strip the Avengers of their powers. And so they all lose their powers, and Red Skull, of course, is threatening the planet. So the Avengers turn to Tony Stark, and Tony delivers with his technology. They all get new outfits. It's not like mech suits, but it's something a little smaller, I guess. And each one caters to their old power. So it sort of enhances, power-enhanced suits are what the Avengers wear. So this comic is co-produced by Bandai. And the reason is, it is a Sentai-inspired comic. What Sentai is, it's basically a team, sort of Japanese style. Think Power Rangers. So this is the Avengers stripped of their normal powers, turned into a Power Ranger style team with Tony Stark technology.
It's like breaking them down and rebuilding them as a new thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested. I at least want to check out the first issue to see how this is, especially with Bandai on board. So we got a couple different covers here. Here is the CHAMBA variant. So I was scanning these variants trying to see what each one would look like, but they don't really want to, seems like they're keeping it close to the chest.
Yeah.
'Cause right there you see some of the characters that will be in it, but they all look kind of normal. And then next here is the MOMOKO. So here you get to see Captain America, and obviously he is wearing some sort of power suit that's letting him, I guess, like a energy blast isn't hurting him or something of that sort.
But still with a little bit of Iron Man's colors on it, because he's like, I want people to know who made this.
Yeah, it's his brand. It's his brand. And lastly, we have the toy variant. So they are showing Iron Man pretty clearly, his sort of enhanced suit. I guess it lets him fly. The team, they probably all have the ability to fly. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm interested to see.
I always like the
how this is.
redesigns and new cool suits and everything.
Yeah.
Next up is a really cool book from Boom called Eat the Rich. I feel like it's one of those titles you don't even really have to describe. It's very evocative, and you already kind of make up in your mind what it's about. but this is written by Sarah Gailey, who has actually written some like Steven Universe and Invader Zim and stuff like that. But this is very different. The art is by Pius Back, and it's set in the town of Crestfallen Bluffs, where this girl named Joey is about to start law school, about to start the rest of her life, and before that, she's going to take a vacation with her boyfriend to kind of the town where her boyfriend's from. He comes from a kind of a wealthy family in a ritzy area. But of course, there's some dark secrets within this family and within this community where, I mean, the solicitation doesn't even say they're cannibals.
I was going to say cannibalistic.
It doesn't even say that, but I mean, just looking at this, you can tell. So it's kind of one of those, can she figure out their dark secret before it gets her in the end? Sounds really cool. I've seen some of the interior art, and it's really, really nice. It's really clean. I think it sets this kind of like idyllic town up against this kind of really scary, grotesque underside. So this is the A cover for it. Then we have the Carrie variant, which you get, like, is that like tofu and then an eyeball, like they're roasting,
And a finger in the middle.
and a finger, yeah. And of course, this beautiful Jenny Frizen variant, which
Nice.
I think a lot of people will be wanting this one.
That's a nice dress too.
Yeah. All right, next up is Elric Dreaming City. This is the first time Michael Moorcock's very famous novels have been adapted in chronological order in comic form. So that's the big thing about this. So of course, if you know anything about Elric, Elric has been exiled from his home, and he is forced to walk the land under the influence of the god of chaos. And who would be more fitting to do a cover for this series than Mike Mignola? That is the A cover for this issue. And then we have the Setcher variant. This is the B cover. Our C cover is, I'm not going to try. Not going to try, guys. Starts with a B. Alright, D is a Tello variant. And then lastly, we have our FOC variant.
It is interesting. You know, comics, I've noticed more now than ever, they're sort of utilizing all these sort of properties, and they're bringing new life to them and giving them a new chance to reach new people.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've heard of Elric since I was a kid. I mean, that's sort of a alternative reading to Tolkien, so it's really cool to see it, you know, join the comic realm with so many other things.
Is this the, you said they're like kind of adapting the books. Is this the first part of that? Is this the first book?
It wasn't very clear on that, but I don't know if this is just a one-shot or an ongoing series. I believe it's ongoing, but
Because we haven't talked about one before, so it makes me think this would be kind
this
of the
should be
beginning
the
of
first. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
that was your question. Yeah, this should be the beginning since it'll be in chronological order.
Next up is kind of our first mini-series coming out of Star Wars High Republic. This is the IDW side of it, that's Adventures, which they say is all ages. I think it is acceptable for all ages, but it really is more about the main characters in it are younger. But it's just as Star Warsy as the Marvel series. So this one is called Star Wars High Republic Adventures Monster Temple Peak, or the Monster of Temple Peak. And it's really cool because this is about a brand new character, at least for comics. They already say this is the first appearance of Ty Yorick, who is a former Jedi turned monster hunter, which I feel like if you're playing the Star Wars RPG game, there's people who are like, oh yeah, I'm a former Jedi / Sith / monster hunter. You know, like how many cool things can you throw on top of there? And she's traveling with her droid, KL-03, and she's hired to hunt the fearsome Gredilax. But there's a disturbance in the Force, as there wants to be in a lot of Star Wars stuff. And how is that connected to her? Will it pull her back to the Jedi Order? This is a 4-part miniseries, but it's really cool, and it does just flat out say, like, hey, this is a first appearance of this character in comics, which it's nice that they just go ahead and tell you.
All right, so next up, this is a new title called Campisi by Aftershock. So what is this about? Let me tell you in a nutshell. You kind of see most of it here. What happens when a mafia enforcer is ordered to put a hit on a dragon that has flown into town? That is the premise in a nutshell. It is supposed to be sort of a cross between, I guess, like Goodfellas and Dragon Slayer. Mafia enforcer up against a dragon.
He's gonna go break its shins with his baseball bat.
That's all that has to be said about this, and really, that's all that they do say about this. But I mean, can I afford to not read this first issue with a premise like that?
If you don't, they'll come get you.
Campisi will get you. If he can get a dragon, which I mean, I presume, honestly, maybe they team up by the end.
Yes.
That would be awesome. A mafia enforcer who gets to ride a dragon by the end.
Yeah, with the Dragon Mafia. They have their own mafia family.
But that is seriously the premise of this. So.
All right, next up for all you Kiss fans out there, this is new from Dynamite. It is Kiss Phantom Obsession. So it is about a reclusive, the richest man in existence, who's very reclusive. People don't know if he's dead, if he's alive, what's going on with him. He hires Kiss to play an underground concert just for him. This concert ends up becoming a fight to their death. So, lots to unravel here. It's by a British author. So yeah, this there's quite a few covers. We're only showing you guys the one here just to put it on your radar. But if you want to go check out the other covers, all the heavy metal covers, go check them out. This is just your A cover for this new series.
This is, of course, the Bermejo cover for Detective Comics 1041. And the solicitation for this issue is really cool, too. Of course, this is Mr. Worth, who Jason has been chronicling on our other show.
Big guy who's like twice the size of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, creates a team of villains, including Penguin, the Party Crashers gang, and the Falcone family to finally stop Batman. But the other thing that's really cool in this is the backup story is, they say it's Countdown to Task Force Z, which is a new book that's coming out later this year about kind of a Suicide Squad-esque team going against, and maybe including some members, I'm not quite sure, of undead villains. Like, I think Bane is on the team, and if you've been reading Joker and Batman, you know Bane wasn't among the living recently. So I think this is really cool. They're leading into that new series in the backup stories of Detective Comics.
That's pretty cool, a Suicide Squad team of undead heroes and villains. That's awesome. Okay, so this is Future State Gotham number 4. The main thing to know about this, of course, is that Punchline has been at the center of the last issue. And in this, Punchline comes across Harley Quinn. And, you know, if all of you remember from Harley's last series, they got in a fight and Harley was gravely injured. So this is sort of their rematch issue, which I think is awesome. On top of that, the solicitation says there's going to be a new hero named Hunter Panic. So first appearance of a new hero in this issue of Future State Gotham number 4. This is the A cover. The DeMeo A cover. DeMeo is so good they let them do a B cover as well.
They kind of, I guess they're connecting.
Let's take a look. Yeah, Harley against Punchline.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, good eye. They did not mention that, but that's definitely connecting. And there is this C cover by Dima Ivanov, and this is of course one of those Suicide Squad covers that they've been doing.
Alright, next up is Infinite Frontier number 4 of 6. This series, of course, is DC's big multiverse event featuring some of their minor characters shoved more into the forefront. So hopefully this issue will answer some questions on Director Bones' list as we're getting toward the end here. And let's show you a few of the covers. There is the A cover by Mitch Gerads, the B cover by Brian Hitch, and lastly, the C cover by John K. Snyder III.
I got to
Suicide Squad one.
Yeah, I got to skim through a black and white version of this issue. Some pretty big things, some pretty big revelations, some classic Scooby-Doo demasking to find out who's behind the mask that I think a lot of people will be talking about. Next up is Joker number 6. This is the B cover, the Tony Harris cover. And in this one, Joker flees Belize and heads to Europe. So I think we're saying that this Joker series is also going to be kind of a international hopping series. I guess where Gordon's going to be chasing him, Carmen Sandiego style, through different countries and places. And then we have one. I love this one. This is the Terry Dodson Punchline variant.
That's really cool. What he did with the shadows.
Yeah.
Of the window.
And then we have the John Boy Myers Suicide Squad cover, which I love the colors on this one, and I'm a big fan of his art.
Okay, here is the David Mack variant for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow number 3. So this is a part of the show we're showing you different variant covers we think people might like or you might miss otherwise. This is also your chance when you get to these issue number 3s. This is usually when us retailers start lowering our numbers. So if you haven't signed up for the book, this is a good time to sign up for it if you're interested, because typically, we'll only order a few for the shelf after that, and if you come in to pick it up, you might miss out. So David Mack doing his artfulness on a cool cover for Supergirl number 3.
All right, last issue of Superman Red and Blue, of course, featuring multiple stories highlighting Superman in his signature colors. So, we've got some cool covers here we wanted to show you for this last issue of the mini-series. This is the B cover by Gabriel Dell'Otto, and then super cool Kevin Eastman variant.
Superman in a free fall.
Kevin Eastman on Superman.
Kevin
you can
Eastman,
tell it with
Superman.
with the buildings.
Yeah.
It's very Kevin Eastman.
So really cool. Definitely didn't want you to miss that.
This is Wonder Woman 777. The B cover by Sebastian Fiumara. Also, this issue sounds really cool because Wonder Woman is heading to Earth 11, and if you remember your Multiversity source book, Earth 11 is kind of the gender-swapped universe, and this one, Wonder Woman is going up against Wonder Man. So, the epic showdown of the Wonders. And then we have the C cover, and this is the Will Murray cover, of course, for Suicide Squad.
Okay, this is the Jim Lee and Scott Williams variant for Batman and Catwoman number 6, which of course is by Tom King, and he promises that Catwoman will have some revelations in this issue. This mostly takes place in the future, of course. So, but once again, this is the Jim Lee and Scott Williams variant.
Okay, America Chavez, Made in the USA number 5. Another final issue, 5 of 5. This is the Bustos variant featuring Kate Bishop Hawkeye on it as well. And of course, things promise to never be the same for America at issue number 5 here.
This is Captain Marvel number 31, the Inhyuk Lee AAPIH variant. So they're rolling these out slowly, but we've had some really nice variants of these.
Yes.
The Psylocke and the Hulk, everything. So don't want to miss out on the Miss Marvel cover of Captain Marvel.
Or she'll sock you. She'll wallop you with that fist.
With a big old glove hand.
Okay, this is the Chang variant for Children of the Atom number 6. I just really like what he did with this one. I selected this cover. I like when you have all those characters, but then you have it arranged, and look who's in the center. It's Gimmick. This issue says that there might be a goodbye forever in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
They promised us early on that Gimmick would be kind of the character to watch.
Quite possibly the breakout character. So as we've seen, as of 2 issues ago, so it's old enough I can talk about it, that she has developed some actual mutant abilities and been asked to go to Krakoa. So we'll see what happens in this issue, but I thought the cover was really neat.
All right, this is Fantastic Four Life Story number 3, smack dab in the middle, and we're in the 80s in this issue. And this is the who is this? Aspinall. I was on the last one. This is the Aspinall variant for this issue.
This is Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 29, the NetEase Marvel Games variant. And this is a big issue too. We know that issue 30, one issue later, Miles gets a new costume. They just revealed it this week. We see some of the concept designs of and everything. And there's a good chance that you may see a hint of that at the end of this issue. You never know. And I think it's cool because the costume resembles a little bit more the Spider-Verse movie costume with like a jacket and stuff. So, and this is going to have big fallout from the Clone Saga. So we'll see what happens there.
This is the Andito variant for Star Wars High Republic number 8. And this issue, it's the battle with the Drengir is going to reach its climax. They also say that it is going to star just a slew of High Republic Jedi. So I think they're all going to have to gather for that battle. So just a lot of people from a lot of places. Could they draw from the books or maybe stuff that hasn't been in comics yet? I don't know. But probably not one to miss out on.
Masters of the Universe Revelation number 2, written by Kevin Smith, and this is the official comic prequel to the Netflix show coming out later this month. So lots of reasons to get this, but yeah, they're both written by Kevin Smith, so really good reasons too. Got 2 covers here for you. This is the A cover, main cover by Wilkins, and then the is this the Sienkiewicz?
Yeah.
Okay, it's cut off on my paper. I was like, this guy has a very similar name to Sienkiewicz. Anyway, yeah, cool. All right, so 2 covers for you to choose from.
Next is a new number 1 from Jeff Lemire and his Black Hammer universe. This is the Unbelievable Unteens. And if you are a Black Hammer reader, you know that's kind of their version of the Teen Titans. But the solicitation for this is really interesting. After a comic book convention signing, the creator of the Unteens is confronted by one of her own creations. Which, it's always funny when you have, you know, someone like Jeff Lemire who's been to conventions, done signings. You know this is a very well-known, you know, he's going to have all the details correct about this. And I think it's really funny that one of these is going to show up there, and maybe she has to pull together a team of heroes that she didn't know were actually real.
Yeah, Lemire might have pulled this from his own nightmares. You know, he was at a signing or convention, it wasn't going well, then he went to bed that night, and his own, you know, creation was there, like, why are you messing it all up for us?
And then the B cover is by John McCrae.
Okay, so this is the John Boy Meyer variant for Eve number 4, the penultimate issue. Eve is very close to the vault right now. I think she can see it, and she now has a sister that she's discovered. So there we have it, John Boy Meyer for Eve number 4.
And then we have Momo number 2. Number 1 came out I think last week. So it's written and drawn by Sass Malaj from Boombox. It's a very witchy story. If you like Sabrina at all, you're going to really like this. So we're getting lots of mystery, lots of good spells and lore and environments. It's a really cool series so far. So don't miss number 2 if you like number 1.
Next is Many Deaths of Layla Starr, number 5 of 5. So this is the final issue. So make sure that you complete your whole set. And this is the B cover, the Malavia foil variant.
Okay, next up is Fight Girls number 2. And this is the only cover for it because everything is being done by Frank Cho. He wrote it, he does the art, he does the covers. So that's very, very cool of him. And in this issue, one of the contestants is actually an infiltrator with their own sort of prerogative, their own thing that they're up to. So not only do you have the regular contests they're all doing, but there's even another layer to it that gets discovered.
All right, this is Silver Coin number 5, and this is the B cover, the McKibben variant. And in this issue, we're going to figure out the origin of the coin's curse. So we're going way far back.
This is Six Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton #3, the Rob Gilroy cover. I'm a big Rob Gilroy fan from Chew and Farmhand, so it's really cool to see his take on these characters.
All right, this is Ordinary Gods #2. This is the A cover. This is by Kyle Higgins. It's the series where certain people are gods, and this, person just learned, hey, guess what? Your whole life wasn't how you thought it is. You're actually a god, and now it's time to go do god things. So if you like the first issue, issue #2 is available for order.
All right, issue #2 of 2 of Hellboy and the BPRD Secret of Chesborough House. A classic sort of haunted house tale with ghosts and all that good stuff. So this is the cover B Smith cover.
Yeah, I thought this cover was interesting because, I don't know Smith that well as an artist, but I thought he really channeled Mignola while doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Because of a triangle. Mignola's favorite triangle cover shape.
Yeah.
This is Canto 3, Lionhearted #2 of 6, and this is just the A cover. But we had a lot of people pick up the #1 this last week when the #1 came out. Canto, always fun, and I think this one people are really, really liking this new story.
Yeah, look at the trees in the background. They're the way they twist on
Yeah.
like tentacle trees. Okay, this is issue #3 of Captain Harlock. So if you liked 1 and 2, this is the time to sign up for it. There were a slew of covers. I chose this one because I thought it looks so cinematic. That's certainly what they're going for. This cover is the E cover by the artist's last name is Alq. That's how I pronounce it. So in this, Harlock and the Arcadia, they're racing to find help against the Mazan threat that's headed to Earth. So.
All right, next up we have Betty Page and Curse of the Banshee #3. We are just showing this one off because there are a lot of covers to this issue, but we always show up the Linsner covers because people like those a lot, so that's what this one is.
Next up is Red Sonja, Black, White, and Red #2. This is the B cover, the Perio variant cover. Which, good to see Perio getting to draw some Red Sonja. Something he doesn't get to do.
Yep.
Just kidding, but he does it so well.
And, of course, this has a lot of different covers.
A lot of different covers.
So we don't go through every one. We just kind of show a representation.
Yep.
This is Bunny Mask #3. So, again, this is the time to sign up. That issue #3, that is when us retailers start ordering less. This issue, they're going to end up going back to the cave where the bunny mask was first discovered. So it looks like they're looking into the origin of the mask itself. What a creepy and weird series.
Yes.
All right, pretty much same thing as Jason just said. Curse of Bellari #2 from Aftershock. This is going to be, a lot of retailers may not order the #2 of something if the #1 maybe didn't sell that well or whatever. So definitely let them know if you want it for #2.
Although it is Clans of Bellari.
Whoops.
That's okay. Just in case. I mean, sometimes the writers, watch our video and comment.
Yep.
So I'd hate
it was small up there.
I'd hate to be corrected by them and be like, oh, so sorry.
I just can't read. It's on me.
Yeah.
Next is #3 for Orcs in Space. This is the B cover, the Ward and Sheehan variant. But, of course, Orcs in Space from the twisted minds that brought you Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites. And you can only imagine this is just as twisted.
Yeah, and once again, I think this is definitely going to be underordered, especially if they end up making a cartoon of it.
Yeah,
so,
and I may have missed this. Andy, you may have just said this, but the #1 was actually the 1 and 2 combined. So you didn't miss #2. The first issue was both issues.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. So next up, we have, this is the Pride variant. It's a little late, but still a very cool looking cover, what they did with it. This is the Pride variant for Life is Strange Coming Home #2. This series is following the new character from the new game, Life is Strange True Color. Her name is Alex Chen. So if you like the series, like the games, here is your chance to order it. It has a bunch of covers, once again. This is just the one we wanted to show off.
Okay, this is WWE New
Look at
Day.
that.
Power of Positivity. I didn't really know anything about New Day.
This is the most research you've put into something. Listening over and you're watching YouTube videos of them. And everything.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're that's their strength is positivity. So
And breakfast.
and breakfast
stuff.
cereal, because I guess the sugar gives you energy. It makes you feel positive. 30 years from now, you may not be feeling so positive if you eat pancakes every day, but who knows? Anyway, this is number 2, A cover for, and this is it. It's just a 2-part series.
It's fun riding a pancake till you get up and you feel all the sticky syrup on your butt for the rest of the day.
You really sound very convincing, like you've done this.
Where do you land a pancake?
I've done many things.
Does it just like go down like a flying saucer, or do you have to like find a pancake runway?
A plate.
Yeah, you got to find the nearest plate. I think this is so cool. So this is a Nice House on the Lake, number 1, 3rd print, and if you notice, the cover to this book is slowly getting torn away. So we had the number 1 first print. There's just a nice cover. The second printing had like the bottom right corner torn out. Now it looks like it's just getting torn all over. When are we going to get the cover that is just the first interior page
It looks
on the
burned.
outside?
It actually looks burnt around parts of it.
So I like that they're doing this. It kind of gives you a reason to get all the covers because there's this like gradual change in them. It'll be cool, like the next one. How far did they take it?
Mm-hmm.
But this is
Rip it off.
Nice House on the Lake, number 1, 3rd printing.
All right, so we're at our part of our show where we announce other printings. This is Justice League number 64, 2nd print. Number 64, 1st print, kind of sold out everywhere. It's the first appearance of the United.
Yeah,
as it says
tells
on
you
the
right
cover.
there.
Yep. So if you're trying to collect all those prints or you just missed the issue, here is your chance to order it now.
All right, another one going back for 2nd print. Hate that we don't have a cover here, but it was not available yet. This is Black Cat Annual number 1, 2nd printing, the Yoon variant for it. So
yeah, it was the first appearance of that. I think it was like Tiger Force was the team, and it had at least I think 3 or 4 first appearances of new international heroes.
Yeah,
which I think international heroes.
And you were like one of the first
go.
people to be like, "Hey, no one's talking about this yet, but I think this is a big deal," and it looks like they caught on too.
Yeah, everybody was talking about X-Force number 10, you know, which was pretty big death issue, but this one, those new characters.
This is Marvel Voices Pride number 1, 2nd printing. So this also first appearances in this of that new what was his name? The character.
Yeah, the new X-Men character.
Yeah.
Somnus.
Yeah. I always forget the name because I don't associate it with anything. But yeah, so 2nd printing, really, really nice cover with Wiccan and Hulkling.
Okay, so Dark Blood number 1, 2nd printing has been announced. I'm just going to say, I'm going to make a prediction. I think this is incorrect. You know, we have to talk about all the things that are solicited. This is a Boom book. Number 1 first print has not even come out yet. Number 1 first print comes out next week. So we've seen this before where they will put it on the final order sheet, and then next week it'll be back, or the week after it'll be back. So you may want to order this from your shop in case you do want to get all printings of this. But I bet you this is going to be a mistake since the first issue is not even out yet. And Boom doesn't tend to do that.
Yeah.
This kind of
Got a lot of confidence it's going to sell out.
And there's no cover.
Yeah.
So, but we'd be remiss if we didn't tell everyone. So you can go ahead and place your order. Just, I bet it's a mistake.
all right, next up we have a hardcover. This is $75. This is X-Men Hellfire Gala Red Carpet Collection. It details every drink, every dance, every dalliance and deception that took place during the Hellfire Gala. So get it all collected together for $75 in this nice hardcover.
I wish it had a carpet cover. It's like the red carpet special
Nice
edition.
ribbon.
Yo, that'd be great.
You
To
can
hold
use it
the
to
place.
save your place in
Yeah.
the book. But
Just a big lumpy piece of carpet. I think this is really cool because who remembers Hill House? Joe Hill's Hill House. It kind of came out like pre-pandemic,
it
and
was, for sure.
I think it kind of got separated by that. But it's all coming out in paperback this time. They've released the hardcover, and this is a box set for $99.99. But you get Basket Full of Heads, Lolo Woods, Dollhouse Family, Daphne Byrne, Plunge, and the backup story in all of them was Sea Dogs, and that's getting collected in its own volume as well.
Cool.
So really nice. Comes with a slipcover. And also, we just found out, I believe, today that the Hill House books are continuing later this year with Refrigerator Full of Heads, the follow-up to Basket Full of Heads.
Those heads started stinking.
You got to keep them fresh. So they have not forgot about this imprint, and we're going to get more of it. So all the more reason to jump on it now, so then when that comes out, you can read it and be all caught up.
Okay, and the last thing we're going to show off today is they are doing an awesome collection for Saga of the Swamp Thing.
Nice.
This is Alan Moore's just masterpiece run on Swamp Thing. This is all 6 volumes in a really nice slipcase for $120. So go ahead and treat yourself, treat your friends. I mean, I remember I read this, God, ages back. So good. I've read it twice, actually.
Wow.
So Alan Moore, he just he redefines the monster story is what he does in this, and he does other things in it that I've just not seen anyone do in anything. So if you haven't ever read this and you want just a good read, I guarantee by the end of the first one you won't be able to put it down, and you won't believe some of the things he did. You know, I mean, Moore was hot. You know, he had done V for Vendetta and Watchmen, so of course he's knocking out of the park with Swamp Thing as well.
Basically, what we think of Swamp Thing now comes from this.
Yeah.
The kind of spinning of, is it a man? Is it a monster? Is it a monster that thinks it's a man?
Is it a vegetable?
Does it grow its own psychedelic drugs that when you eat them, you can meld minds with it?
Yes.
Yes, that is it.
Yes, that's in there.
Good place to end. All right. Thank you so much for checking out our show today, Comics from the Future. If you have not already, and if you're on our YouTube page right now, just go ahead and hit subscribe. We are super, super close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so it would mean so much to us. And if you found any of this information useful, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you're most excited for. And if you need to order anything you see here and you want to do so from us, we're going to leave some info up for you right now.
All right, yep. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you on Tuesday with our review show.
Bye.
Bye.